everybody, welcome back to another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News, the show that may or may not be 5 minutes. Today in the news, it's Wednesday, and we're still talking about Fallout from the weekend. And what a weekend it was. First G4 dies, then Rooster Teeth gets caught up in a scandal, and then to top it all off, Bayonetta drama. Who would have guessed? For those of you who don't keep up with gaming dramatics or the voice acting world, Helena Taylor, the voice of Bayonetta's titular character, came out with a tweet about how Platinum Games had offered her only $4,000 to reprise the role for the third game, which I think we can all agree is disgustingly low for the lead character of $1 million franchise. She went on to ask her fans to support her and boycott the game, and quickly the internet rallied to her side. Jennifer Hale, voice acting vet and already a pretty great person, took over the role of Bayonetta in her stead, and so then the internet does what the internet always does and began attacking her for being insensitive to Helena's situation. Hale tweeted she thought all actors deserved to be paid well, and was hoping that, people wouldn't be so hurtful and whatnot. Even the director, Hideki Kamiya, tweeted how sad the situation was, but seemed to hint it wasn't true. And that's when reports over the last 24 hours began to appear that it wasn't a 4K payment in total, but 4K per session. And it would have been higher than what Helena was being paid for the first two games. But according to these new reports, Taylor rejected these terms, asking for a 6-figure sum and residuals instead. After lengthy negotiations, Platinum subsequently hired Jennifer Hale to take the role of Bayonetta. Taylor reportedly declined a subsequent offer of a cameo for the fee of one session. Helena Taylor, of course, calls this all lies, and Platinum Games really aren't the ones saying this. They haven't said anything. It's been leaks to press. The big takeaway, at least for me, was that we didn't really know much the first few days. We just had one side of the story to go on, and yeah, it sounded bad, but everyone sort of jumped in and had opinions, and people started fighting over things that no one really knew anything, and I don't think we even know anything right now. And no matter what, personally, I think 4K per session is still too low. You are the star of the game coming back to voice the main character for a third time. They should have forked over some money for that. But again, we don't have the details. So my opinion aside, no one knows anything. Everyone acted like they did, and everyone had something to say. We got to stop doing that, gang. Speaking of quick to judgment, the Cyberpunk Redemption arc continues. In a tweet this morning, we learned that Cyberpunk 2077's recent resurgence due to the wildly popular and extremely well-made anime on Netflix wasn't just a flash in the pan. For 4 weeks in a row, the game has had 1 million active players. But that's not all, according to GameSpot. A series of patches and fine-tuning since December 2020 have helped improve the Night City sandbox. An update for current-gen PS5 and Xbox Series XS consoles increased Cyberpunk's 2077 visual presentation. And the announcement of the Phantom Liberty expansion helped draw players back into the fold. And with the announcement of more Cyberpunk coming and more Witcher, honestly, it's nice to see CD Projekt recover. I love a good comeback story, and I feel like this is a good one because we got to see them fail, and we got to see how they reacted, and we got to see what came of that in a relatively quick time period. Let's not pretend that this is one of those, the game stunk, and then 6 years later they come out with something. This was relatively soon, so yeah, I'm kind of proud of them. More importantly, I'm proud of you for all you out there saving my junk. Thank you. Those of you who don't, you monsters. And finally, in news that shouldn't be, yet somehow no one really learns their lesson. Remember when I was all, Netflix is trying to get into games, but they keep doing it wrong. And then remember when I was like, Google Stadia closes down because no one uses cloud gaming. Well, Netflix said, no one yet. During a discussion at the TechCrunch Disrupt event, Netflix's vice president of games, Mike Verdu, revealed that the company was investigating the possibility of letting its subscribers stream games. We're very seriously exploring a cloud gaming offering so we can reach members on TVs and PCs, Verdu explained. We'll approach this the same way we did with mobile, which is start small, be humble, be thoughtful, then build out. But it is a step we think we should take to meet members where they are, on the devices where they consume Netflix. Now, you might expect me to poo-poo this whole thing, as I am not the biggest fan of cloud gaming. However, if there was ever a company or a time or a place to do it, it is Netflix. I have been complaining for months now that Netflix's gaming arm makes no sense. It's Netflix, but on a phone, and you have to access it through Netflix, but you can only on your phone, and then you download. It makes no sense. It's confusing. There are literally instructions online. Every time someone posts like, this is Netflix games, they also include how to access them, which is crazy. It should be in Netflix. And what they're doing here, it appears, is that. And if they can just have a category in Netflix that's like games, and then you can play it, and maybe, I don't know, your remote works, or you can just hook up a controller to a USB port in the back. Whatever the case may be, them doing this is smart. It's what they should have done to begin with. And again, I'm not the biggest fan of cloud gaming, but if I think anyone could do it in a way that it should be done, I feel like Netflix has the platform. It has all the people there. It just needs to start doing it on Netflix. We'll see if it works. And in the world of seeing things and hoping they work, yep, here we are. Have I mentioned patreon.com/Jesse Cox? Where you can hang out with amazing people like Raina Navarrete, Becca, and Jeffrey Bouchard. Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much. See you all tomorrow for another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News.